Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for a match reaction to a poor result in the game against Liverpool, 4-1 on the night. Lots to discuss, guys, lots to get into on that performance. We will be discussing everything in and around Chelsea. We're going to start with a bit of transfer news and talk about what's been going on in and around Chelsea in regards to the transfers. And then we will be talking about the game in deep as well. We're going to be talking about specific players. We're going to be talking about Pochettino. We're going to be talking about some analysis as well, some tactics, things like that we can go through as well. There's a lot for us to go through. Lots and lots and lots for us to go through, guys. What I need you to do right now, guys, is to smash the likes, share it out. This is a show that we're not going to want to miss. We're going to be getting into all of it very, very soon. And let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for another lackluster, poor performance from Chelsea away from home. Lots to discuss, lots to get into. It's just, yeah, we might as well just get on with it. I'm not going to lie, there's quite a lot to get into. Everyone that's sitting there right now, smash the like buttons, guys. That's what I need you to do right now. Subscribe if you're new to both GNA and Chelsea Fan TV. But please make sure you're hitting the likes, guys. It's really important to us that you do that. It allows us to get pushed out on the algorithms and stuff like that. So there's nearly 50 people here already. Get the likes up, guys. That's what I'm going to ask from you now. Let's say hello to everyone in the chat before we get in. We've got a lot to get through. Busy day today. We'll talk about Poch a bit later. Gabriel, no need for Poch out. It's going to take some time. We just start seeing at 11 with Nkunku, Gusto, James, Lavia. Well, these are in hindsight things that we've been wanting to see, but are things that unfortunately are not happening because we can't seem to keep everyone fit. Ashraf says he sent me something. I need to have a look at that. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, well, that ain't very good, is it? Yeah, sorry, guys. I had someone here, so I literally had to get on with it there as well. Clown Lake out is what Chelsea boy says. There's only one blame. The owner is what Mark says. Yeah, partly. We are really dropping our standards, bro. I blame this on the owners. They only care about the profit, is what Jason says as well. Everyone's very angry about the owners at the moment, which is quite interesting. Poch out. We didn't reckon. We Poch out. We don't recognise this club anymore, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Yes, guys, sorry. Had to do something quickly there. Sorry, I've been a bit in and everywhere today. It's a very busy day for me. In all fronts, get Poch out. Did you see that embarrassment? Don't blame the ref. We were awful. Well, we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about everything because I think there's a bit of everything. I think the refs was also bad as well. The worst performance this season. Bad defenders, bad decision making. Midfielders, no aggression. Forwards felt sorry for Petrovic. So did I, to a degree. I'm not going to lie. It must have been pretty painful for him in between the goals. Right, let's get into transfer talk because it is deadline day today. So I want to talk about transfers. I want to talk about transfers before we get into anything else, guys. So let's start with. Why is this not in order? Why do they not make things easier, StreamYard? Put things in order, man, so I can start in it. We're going to start with the news around Tino Anjorin, who will be leaving Chelsea to return to Portsmouth on loan, and as he closes in on his comeback from a serious hamstring injury. The guy's been out for a while. The Athletic have reported that Anjorin will be leaving to go out on loan, which, yeah, no shock. He doesn't really play much for us. Again, another loanee on the books, so it looks like that's going to be a done deal before close tonight on that one. We've also got a little bit of news on Washington as well. With regards to Washington, Chelsea had been open to allowing the teenage striker Washington to leave on loan, but it now seems more likely he will stay at the club as well. Let me just quickly sort out my connection here. There we go. Yeah, so again, it looks like we're going to have Washington with us for the rest of the season as well. There was talks around strikers who's coming back, and Nkunku's back in now. Jackson's on his way back. Brower could be sold still or sold on loan, be sent out on loan by the end of this window as well. This is what we're going to be doing. But Washington is one that looks like he's going to stay at the football club, and we will see what happens when she ain't cost. Yeah, we're going to trust me, guys. We're going to get into Liverpool Chelsea in a second. Trust me. I'm just flying through the deadline day transfer news first, and then I promise we'll go through everything in regards to that game. Trust me. We're going to get the panel in as well. Why is Washington staying if Poch refuses to play him? True. But at the same time, look at the amount of accumulated injuries we've got. If Brower goes, that leaves us with Nico Jackson and Washington as our main two strikers. We could play Nkunku as a striker, but in theory, do we really want to see him doing that? I'm still not sure. It looks like Poch might even look to play him as a striker for the rest of the season after what we saw from yesterday. But with Nico Jackson coming back in, maybe he'll play off the left and Sterling or whoever will go on the right as well. We can't even get 5 million for Brower on a loan. I know. It's not good. Not good. I have a lot of thoughts, but don't want to ruin the chat. Yeah, no, we'll get into it, guys. Like I said, we can all start talking about the game. I know we're all a bit venting and annoyed, and trust me, I was in, I can listen how the fans felt about everything that we saw yesterday. We didn't deserve that as fans. We didn't deserve that as fans. But what we saw and how we performed reminded me of the Man United game, and we'll get into it a bit. But this was a centre back, not a left back. Saliba and Van Dijk will suffer at full backs too, but they have managers that play them. Yeah, but it's more than that, Tobbs, for me. It's more than that. The Washington guy cost us 20 million. I know, and that's probably why we're keeping him, right? That is probably why we're keeping him. So he looks like he's going to be staying at the football club as well. And then we go into Trevor Chalobah, guys. Now, another one that's been looked to be sold if we could in this window. Bobby Vincent's come out and said that he's staying at Chelsea. Who knows? Chalobah might even get some games, right? I mean, after yesterday's performance, why couldn't Trevor Chalobah get in this team? Why couldn't Trevor Chalobah get in? Why can't Trevor Chalobah get into this team? Can anyone answer that question? I'd really like to know, because I don't think anyone performed at a high standard yesterday. And obviously, we're going to get to that in a bit. Trevor Chalobah should be in the team. Showtime's in the building. Big up Showtime, man. How you doing, my boy? Good to see you. And have to play Liverpool, get in the final. Well, we've got to build up to that. Do you know what I mean? We really need to build up to that. Nyax says, I'm not even emotional about last night because I already know Poch won't survive past the summer. He's calling Poch out. So, we're going to get to it in a second. Let's just try and stick on the transfer news, guys, for the moment being. Chalobah is a free at the back, centre-back. Yeah, he's also played in a 4 at the back as a centre-back. And let's be serious, they're not that much better than him. This is what I keep saying to people about these defenders that we have. The defenders that we have are not that much better than what Chalobah is. And we spent 40 million, 50 million or whatever money on these players when we have a guy that has come through the academy and played for us and got thrown into a team out of the blue based on Thomas Tuchel's assumptions and views of him as a player. And yeah, he had these bad, he's not been, he's had these bad moments and stuff, but he's also had some very good moments, Trevor Chalobah, for us, in my opinion. He's had some very good moments for us in a Chelsea shirt. So, I don't know, big up though. Big up Showtime. Nice to see. We should play 3 at the back. Chalobah is decent. Give him a chance. I'll take everyone at centre-back. But he's Premier League proven as well. So, let's see. Let's see if Pochettino even utilizes the fact of using him. That's the real big question in that. Now we're going to move on to the big news of it all. Armando Broja Fabrizio Romano an hour ago come out saying that Chelsea insist on a 5 million loan fee to let Amanda Brower leave in the final hours. Wolves and Fulham are both still insisting, but not at the current conditions. Well, this is interesting because Chelsea ain't been able to sell any of these players in the market. And the reason they've not been able to do that is because of how much they value them. No club at this moment in time in January is going to spend the money that Chelsea have asked them for. And in fact, the money that Chelsea have asked for these players are the types of monies that we could probably charge in the summer. Why? Because there's more options. It allows more clubs to get involved. You know, it's a bit of everything. And with Broha, like, you know, I could see it could happen. It really could happen. But would it shock me if he stayed at Chelsea? Would it really shock me if he was at the club tomorrow still? No, it wouldn't. But the fact that we've kept Washington, Nkunku's fit, Jackson's coming back, there might be a chance that he goes. I just feel that he ain't. I just feel that he ain't going to go. But in saying that, you look at yesterday and the fact that he held the bench and didn't even come on the pitch, that tells me that there's probably a reason for that. And that might be down to what's going on with the negotiations. And when you obviously, when you're negotiating for a player, they hold bench. They don't play football. And that's what we saw yesterday with Broha. He didn't even get a chance to come on the pitch, We need a striker. We will let Broha go on loan. I'm a Chelsea fan and don't get the Cole Palmer hype. Yeah, I don't agree with that one, mate. Baddy was arguably our best defender, but now shit. We've got to focus on why that happened instead of letting out. I mean, we're going to get into, don't worry. Do you know what? We're going to get into it in a minute. I'm literally going into it next. This is the next thing we're going to get. So at the end of my transfer news, guys, this is the last bit of news that I know in regards to Chelsea. We're not doing much in the forefront of bringing players in. Brent Zimmer staying. Callum Wilson staying because Isaac's been injured. There's not many options in terms of strikers that Chelsea can bring in over this January window. And let's be serious. Chelsea's biggest summer target, which we believe is Victor Osimhen, is summer. So I think we're going to try and see if we can get through this next period without him, which means that we're going to need to keep people like Nkunku fit, and they're going to need to be available for this club. So Skills, I don't see you when we're winning, mate. I didn't see you when we was winning. You only turn up when we lose games, mate. Typical Arsenal fan. Big up, lad. Poch isn't to blame, really. Deny 2 pens and bad she'll cost you. Big up, Minerals FC. Why we didn't sign a left back is a myth. Why did we let Maatsen go is a myth. In fact, why did Maatsen not even get 1 minute at left back? Because I don't understand it. He could have played against Preston before he left in the cup. There was a number of games where Maatsen could have just been tested or tried. Why are we forcing centre-backs to play in out of positions because we haven't got the left-backs? Yeah, you can blame the board. You can blame the board for maybe not bringing one in. But Pochettino didn't blimmin' use him when we did have him. So it weighs in both ways here, guys. Pochettino's got a left-back there, but leaves him to hold bench to play Colwill out of position as a left-back. But then the board ain't bought anyone after allowing Maatsen to go on loan. So what are we doing here? To me, it just feels like they're both to blame. In my opinion, they're both to blame. Exactly. Well, we might have not needed a left back. We might have not even needed to go and get a left back until the summer if Maatsen was given the opportunity. How comes he can go to Borussia Dortmund and play every game convincingly, and Dortmund fans and people come out commenting saying that he's a big reason to what they, to them doing well in the last couple of games. And how they're shocked how quickly he's adapted to the team, adapted to what he's doing over there. Why didn't we just give him a chance? That's what I don't get. I mean, Thiago Silva, boring. Why are we pretending that the people making decisions at this clubs aren't the owners? Well, obviously the owners make the decisions. Don't get me wrong, but Bobby, Poch makes the decisions on the teams, bro. Poch is the one that sets us up the way that he set us up yesterday. Guess who done that? That wasn't the fucking owners. That was Poch. Yeah, from both manager and team, and I get that, and I'm going to go in it at all angles. Sterling was poor yesterday. Jim, is Thiago Silva low-key finished, bro? Listen, it's not about being Thiago Silva being low-key finished, guys. The problem we got here is that Thiago Silva, in all of the centre-backs that we've got, is still our best centre-back. That's the issue. We spent all this money on Disasi for Fana, who can't keep fit because he's now nearly missed 60 games since he's been here, by the way. He's missed 60 games in 2 seasons. He's missed more than he's actually played. Badiashile can't keep himself fit and just hasn't looked good all season to me. Disasi has looked good, but was played out of position yesterday. All right, fine. We had to in instance because Gusto just got back. Cole has been awful, but again, played out of position and still really doesn't really... No one's grabbing it and going... None of these centre-backs are grabbing it and going, I am the man. You know, like how Saliba plays at Arsenal? He runs it. You can see the quality. You can see the quality of him. Yeah? Like, we don't have that with us. They're all just meaty. Disasi looked like he was getting there, and I thought, okay, maybe Disasi might be one of the players that we can look at maybe in the future, you know, played in his correct position. Maybe. But then, I don't know, man. I just don't get... They're just not... None of them are better than Thiago Silva. Let's just be quite honest with you. Let's be serious. And, you know, Thiago Silva declining. What does it say about the ones that we have got here that are still young? Yeah, well, you know, let's get into it. Let's talk about this game because obviously it's over 100 people in here right now. Guys, do me a favor. Hit the like buttons now. I need everyone to hit the likes. Share it out as well, please. I need everyone to share it out. And let's get into the game yesterday. Right, I want to start before we even get in. Oh, shit. See, I'm getting all angry already. I'm knocking things everywhere. I'm slapping things everywhere. Before we even get into... Oh, what's going on now? I've just knocked up my camera. That's just typical, isn't it? 1 second, guys. 1 second. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I've just got to get my camera reset. Back. I'm back. Before I was slapping things everywhere. I literally knocked my camera out. This is what Chelsea does to me, guys. This is what Chelsea does to me. I literally knocked my blooming camera flying. Whoever evaluated Enzo at 100 minutes, showtime, mate. You've got to be a lot more knowledgeable than this, mate. Surely. Come on, bro. Don't be this person. Do not be that person. Come on. Anyway, let's get into this. Guys. Okay. Rio Ferdinand. Before we even get into the game, I want to talk about these refereeing decisions because we have to. Now, we were crap yesterday. All right. Liverpool were by far the better team. They were a better team than us, for sure. However, the fact that we had 2 penalties, clear penalties that Van Dijk committed, and this is Rio Ferdinand's comments here. I can't believe VAR hasn't seen that, not even given penalties. VAR is not meant to help in these situations. How they have looked at these 2 incidents and not thought they were penalties for Chelsea. I still think Chelsea were well off it today, but the penalties could have changed the nature of the game. Listen, if we would have got the penalty that that was a penalty. The first one was a penalty to Conor Gallagher. It's a penalty. They slowed it down. You saw Van Dijk's knee and leg collide into the side of Gallagher, which ultimately tripped him up, and he went over. It's a penalty. And look, we scored there. I'm not saying but if we'd have got a goal there, that might have changed the game a bit for us. Maybe. Even though we had such a poor first half, and we're going to get into that. But goals do change games, guys. Goals do change games. We didn't get the penalty. The game continues, and Liverpool continued with their relentless pressing, which then that's given us the problem. Now, the second half, when we're already behind and Nkunku comes on the pitch, to be able to kick the back of someone's foot, which he completely did, he swung his leg intentionally into the back of Nkunku's leg, which made him go down. The fact that VAR looked at that and didn't give it, but then gave the one that Badia shielded, where Nunes missed the penalty, makes no sense. Because the one with Badia shield against Nunes was it was actually less worse than the two that Van Dijk committed on both our players. Let's be serious. So I don't know what I was watching yesterday. I don't know what it was. But they were clear and obvious pens. End of. Clear and obvious pens. And people say Liverpool are the reason. But it happened when they played against Newcastle and Jota ran around the goalie. The goalie didn't hardly even touch him and he gave a penalty. It's becoming a little bit weird, isn't it? That Klopp is leaving the club and then all of a sudden, all these decisions that could obviously ultimately change games or swing games in different ways are happening and being in favour of Liverpool. I'm just saying it's a little bit weird. I'm not saying that we deserve to win yesterday because we didn't. And we're going to get into us. Trust me, we're coming to us. We are coming to Chelsea. But when you look at the decisions that we had yesterday, you know, for what we saw yesterday in terms of decisions in games, we were let down. We were let down. There's nothing more to say about it. They were two clear pens. Even the mutual rivals, even the rivals could see that. Even Liverpool fans in my group chats were saying that's a penalty. That's a penalty. They both said they're penalties. How we've got away with that, I don't know. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It doesn't change. It would have maybe changed the outcome of the game in terms of, you know, the goals scored, but in terms of the way that we played and how we played, and this is where we're going to go to next, because I've spoke about the refereeing decisions, right? We've had that discussion. That's one part of this story. The second part of this story is us. Now, listen, Liverpool were great yesterday. But this is a problem. And this worries me. And I don't care, right? This is definitely a manager thing. And this is a player thing as well. 4-1. We've lost our last 7 away games. 4-1, 1-0. We won 3-2. Just about. Bearing in mind, in that game, we were 3-0 up. We nearly lost it. Lost to Wolves. Lost to Everton. Convincingly, by the way. Lost to Man United, which I thought could not be topped. In terms of performance, I thought that Man United game could not be topped to how bad we was until I saw yesterday. And then the Newcastle game. The Newcastle game was atrocious as well. The Man United, the Newcastle, and Liverpool games, them 3 games away were awful. And do you know what's even worse about all this? We still got to go and play City away, and we still got to go and play Arsenal away. Now, funny enough, our home record's got better. In past, it used to be our home record that was a problem, and our away record that was fine. That was ultimately where we went with it. But this ain't good enough. And yeah, we can point fingers at the owners, guys. We can. But equally, you have to look at who's controlling the players and how he's setting us up. Because the Man United game, I've really stressed about the Man United game. We had one issue in the team that day. We had no right backs and we only had one left back. So instead of just having one problem, he decided to put Cucurella right back and put Colwill left back, which ultimately gave us 2 problems. Do you get what I mean? This is where I'm going with it. So he goes and does that. Yeah. Ultimately just ruins everything. We don't play well. We was crap. Everyone was poor. And he just sits there and watches it. Doesn't change anything. We lose, right? We go to Liverpool away. He goes and sets us up in a 4-3-3 with a false 9, which, by the way, yesterday when we had this discussion, I said to you guys, I don't want to see a false 9. I don't want to see a false 9 because, and AJ said it, I don't want to see a false 9 because we need to occupy Van Dijk and Konate. That first half was a big reason as to why I said what I said. Because what you did to Cole Palmer was not only just play him out of position, but he was ineffective. We couldn't get up the pitch. Their press was relentless. Right? And, you know, people want to say, yeah, but this is the type of games where we need this guy because he's so important to the team. Yeah. When your best player, and this is Adrian, who I don't even think is all that from TalkSport. I think he waffles. When your best player this season has been Conor Gallagher, mainly because he runs a lot, you know it's a pretty terrible season. Listen, there's been parts of a game that's been better. The stats that we looked at yesterday showed that he played better. But was there really any point of Conor Gallagher yesterday? On all fairness. Because we're talking about the players. We're not even talking about the manager yet. Don't worry, I'm coming to the manager. But I want to get to the players because people go, oh, you're blaming the manager again. Let's talk about the players first this time. Because he was crap. He was bad. Running around like a headless chicken. There's a video of him getting the ball in the box, yeah, and just slipping. When all he had to do is play it to the left, he tried to do a Cruyff turn and tripped himself up instead of just doing the basics. He's been regressing for the last 4 games now. So this Pete Gallagher that we saw that was playing so well, and everyone was like, he has to start. He's our main person. All right, we had injuries. We had no choice. He's now regressing, and it ain't working for me. Carney's back. Cole Palmer's there. You know, even if it means we play Carney in them tight positions where he can receive the ball and turn and be effective, we should be playing him. You have to play. He has to get fit, and we have to play him. I can't see Conor Gallagher every game playing in these 4-3. I just can't. I'm sorry. Listen. I said he can be a squad player. He can be a whatever. I get that, but he just doesn't offer enough for me in what we're trying to do. He just don't. Yeah, his legs is good. He runs around and whatever, but just not good enough. Just not good enough, guys. You know, and we've been saying it. I've been saying this for a while with him now. I've been saying this for a while with him for now. And he's meant to be one of our captains. Like, just poor, man. Absolutely poor. It just doesn't help. Who else am I going to next? Don't worry, we're going to a couple of them. Let's go to this one next. Because I am going to call some of them out. I think Mykhailo Mudryk would run into a mannequin in training if it was there. Do you know what? He didn't start the game, so I can't even blame him for the first half. I actually genuinely can't blame him for the first half. But when he came on in the second half and he had that opportunity where Gusto, by the way, was probably one of our best players when he come on the pitch, by the way. Yeah. And that ball got played across of him and he punted it over the bar like it was a rugby kick. Yeah. It's just not effective. This is the truth. He's not effective. He's too raw. I think we've probably just, you know, maybe Poch's, again, man management is just not working. Maybe he's just not ready, in my opinion. But at the moment, he looks lost when he comes on. He looks well and truly lost. In games. Big up JP, how you doing? I mean, again, I'm not going to listen to a rival, mate. We're going to talk about that anyway. That's actually going to come up in a second because that makes sense. That does make sense. You weren't talking about these players the last couple of games when they're actually performing quite well. As soon as we lose a game, it's the two in the middle. It makes me laugh. So boring and predictable. Right. Let's go on to this guy. We have to. Benoit Badiashile probably had the worst centre-half performance I've seen in a Premier League in past 2 seasons. He was dreadful. Listen, he's not a left-back. He didn't even look comfortable as a centre-back. But the fact that he got beaten at the back post for a goal by, who was it? Who was it that scored it as well? I can't remember who it was. The fact that he got jumped and beaten in the air, as tall as he is, at the back post was just pathetic. Relevant to him playing as a centre-back or a left-back. His passing out was shocking. He's reading the game was shocking. He looks heavy-footed. He don't look confident whatsoever. And he just looks really poor. And I don't know what's happened to him, to be quite honest with you. He just doesn't look like the Badiashile we saw when he first come in. Maybe it's down to injury again. I don't know. But, you know, people were touting this guy to be our best defender. He's not showing it. In fact, I've seen more poor performances from him this season than I have good. He wasn't good. He just wasn't good. Just wasn't good. Yeah, don't worry. We're going to get to that Grey Watch dinner. Don't worry. Trust me. I've got this. I've got this. I've got this because this is something that's been happening for a while with them too. And I am going to call out. And this is, and that then relieves me to Poch, which I'm going to get to. Just poor. Benoit Badiashile, poor. But they all were poor. It weren't just Badiashile. Thiago Silva was not himself. Disassi was poor. Chilwell. Ben Chilwell. I even got started on Ben Chilwell. Wait a sec. Let's get Ben Chilwell up for a second. Chilwell. Now, I don't want to be too heavy on him because I know it's his second game since he's got back, but Chilwell. Why can't I even get a picture of Chilwell here? Let's use Moddy's comment here. Let's use his comment here. Badiashile, I've got nothing more to say, to be honest with you. I just expect better. I genuinely just expect better at this point. Chilwell, yesterday. The most embarrassing performance I've ever seen in my life from Chilwell. While I get him off the pitch, immediately you're playing like a rookie. He was so not with it, disjointed, making runs, losing the ball, giving the ball to him, passing the ball back to the attackers after he ran 3/4 of the pitch. Not playing balls over the top in behind, which partly, again, by the way, is the fault of the forward line. Let's not forget them, because I'm getting to them. Like, he was poor. He was poor. He was poor. He let us down. And yeah, he's just got back and we can work back. And whatever, it's his second game. But he let us down. He's meant to be our best left back. He's meant to be our best left back. We've got Cucurella and him. We can't keep seeing performances like this from him. He has to do better. And he got taken off. And to be quite honest with you, I actually wouldn't have took him off. I wouldn't have took him off. I'd have kept him because he's the only left back we got. Instead, and this goes on Poch, he goes and puts Badiashile left back. And then puts Disassi, Silva. All right, and he brought Gusto on. So, yeah, okay, he switched the sides. Which actually worked out better because Gusto was definitely better than Ben Chilwell was. And then there was this guy. And I thought he was actually trying to help him yesterday. I genuinely think, out of all the performances I've seen of Raheem Sterling, and he's had some good ones this season, by the way. He's had some good performances. This one specifically was his worst performance. He irritated the hell out of me. He was so bad. He would... The first half. Was it the first? No, the second half, where he's on the right. And he runs with the ball. And then Nkunku's inside the half, on our side of the halfway line. This guy's taken 3 touches. By the time he kicks it to Nkunku, he's offside. Too late. This guy likes taking so many touches. He's reading of the game on his final ball. It's so shocking. Shocking. It was poor. It was poor. And this is why I wanted to go to all these players specifically before we get into the manager. Because don't worry, I'm getting into him. He ain't getting away with this. This all leads to, from what I'm showing you right now, is an accumulation of everything that went on yesterday. He was poor because his decision-making was crap. Couldn't beat his man. Every time we actually broke, the ball came to this guy, he would waste it with a crap pass. Or we'd lose it with his, his backwards pass it. Oh, mate, just frustrating. Yesterday, he got on my nerves. He really got on my nerves because I expect so much more from him. He's experienced. He's won things. He knows what Anfield's like. He's played there. You're with a bunch of players that haven't played there that are maybe looking to you as one of the guys to go, right, come on, show us. How do we get through this? And he was worse. He was worse than our midfield. He was worse. I mean, our defence was shocking. Don't get me wrong. They were all bad. And I've never seen a Chelsea back four not be able to play out from the back as bad as yesterday. We couldn't play out. Even when we tried to play out, we gave the ball away. They were just poor. It was just, everyone was poor. They were. He was shocking. He was shocking. And I want to talk about the one bright light before we get into Pochettino. The two bright lights was really Petrovic and him. And he only came on for fucking half a game and still struggled to get the ball. But guess what? When he does get the ball, he's a class above most of the players on the pitch in our forward line. He's well up there. He's here for me. Just watching him in that short space of time. His goal, no one in our forward line scores that. Quick feet, right to left, bang. And you see what I mean? This is a difference about killers. This is why I want killers. We've suffered as fan base because we've lost him for so long as well. It fucking annoyed me because we need this, especially in some of the games that I've seen us where we've actually done okay. And we just need him or someone that can just get the ball and bang, because that's all he does. He gets the ball and bang. And guess what? It goes in the back of the net. He's played 145 minutes and scored 2 goals already. Like, we have suffered as a fan base because of this. Don't get me wrong. Big up, Harry. How you doing? How you doing, Harry, bro? You good? Poor yesterday, innit, man? Oh, yesterday hurt, bro. Yesterday hurt. I'm not going to lie. I'm struggling right now. Even like reliving it yesterday, I thought I'd move past it, but now it's all coming back. It's really winding me up. You know, like, please, I'm going to say it now. Please, the Lord, allow Nkunku to stay fit all the way to the end of this season. Please, if we've got any chance of winning that final, providing Poch sets us up correctly, he has to be in the team. He has to. Please. Give us a break. We need to have a break. My head's spinning. My head's spinning, guys. This club is the death of me, honestly. This club is killing me. We can't, as fans, after 3 years of this hell, still be going through this. And then we're going to top it off. Because I'm moving away. That was positive. Petrovic, by the way, awesome. Yeah, he let in 4 goals, but guess what? That could have been 7, 8 without him in the goal. And he made some really good saves. The goals that he did actually concede, what's he going to do? What's he going to do when the defence in front of him can't do diddly squat? Weren't winning headers. Weak. And we're going to break down the halves now. This is what we're going to do next. We're going to talk about each half, and then we're going to go into this little clip that I've got as well, and I want to show you something. So in the first half, he sets... This is Pochettino now. We're talking about Pochettino, okay? Pochettino time. So in the first half, he sets us up in the exact same way as he set us up in the last couple of games, right? Barring the striker. Because now all of a sudden, yeah, he wants to play a false 9 against Liverpool. Because, it might have worked against Arsenal at home. Is that what it is? Is that why we done that? I said yesterday, don't play a false 9. You have to occupy Konate, Van Dijk. You can't leave them free. Because even if we're trying to get our wingers to go in behind, that freedom for them to will eat up. They will eat it up. They're quick enough. They're clever enough. You need to occupy them while our wingers are trying to move, or whoever's trying to run in behind. If you don't do that, you have what you had you have what you had yesterday. You had what you had yesterday, guys. You had what you had yesterday, where Palmer drops deep, Madueke drops deep, Sterling drops deep, Chilwell ends up getting the ball running with it on his own to the point where he's actually the last player and then goes to try and turn around and do backwards passes because there's no one making runs behind. No one's naturally going to do that, only other than Sterling and maybe Madueke, who in my opinion, doesn't really run enough behind anyway, Madueke. He more wants the ball at feet and dribble. Yeah, so Liverpool were going to do what Liverpool were going to do. This is what annoyed me, all right? I knew, and I bet every 170 of you in here all knew that Liverpool were going to do what they did that first 20 minutes. First half, sorry. We all knew that they were going to come out. They were going to go this elite pressing. They were going to press us back. They were going to try and make us lose the ball up the pitch. What did we need at that time? What is it that we needed to do in them moments? We needed to receive the ball, defenders, play the balls quickly into the midfield or off the wings, all right, quickly. Yeah, by the way, yeah. And then whoever receives the ball, i.e. Caicedo, has to be able to have someone to either not only beat his man, but then release the ball to. Okay? Yeah? That's what you need to do in terms of beat the press. It hits Enzo. Enzo looks up. He's got the ability. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah? But guess what? We couldn't have done that yesterday because guess what? He decides to do exactly the same thing as he done against Manchester United, which was play out from the back. Caicedo runs around on his own in the middle, trying to find space, but he's got Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, and McAllister, all three of them in front of him in a triangle. Yeah. So every time he receives the ball, they hound him. So he's having to, he can't even link the play. He's got to go backwards all the time. And guess where Enzo and Gallagher are? Guess where they are? They're playing up front. They're the furthest player forward. Yeah, and this is all tactic, guys. People go, oh, Caicedo, Enzo. They're crap. They're not good players. Look at them. They can't even dominate a game. Well, guess what? You ain't going to be dominating any game if your manager sets you up tactically inept, like we was yesterday. And we're going to look at it now. Liverpool apply a high press, and Enzo comes deeper to receive. All right, this is one of the times where he comes deeper to receive, by the way. All right, he spins away, yeah, and then Poch sends Enzo further forward. Now Caicedo is isolated. We lose the ball, and there's no cover in the transition. All right, watch this. Let's go through it. Silva with the ball. Enzo comes deep, right? He receives. What does he do there? Now look at the position. Look where we are at this point. Caicedo, Enzo, closer to each other. Enzo beats his player because he's got the quality to. Caicedo can do this as well, by the way, all right? First thing he thinks of doing, get the ball up forward. Into Gallagher now, okay? Now look what I'm talking about. The only players that we have in the forward line are Raheem Sterling on the left. Raheem Sterling is now occupying Kanai. But guess what? Van Dijk, Gomez are sitting there with no one around them. Not one person. Palmer's position is of a deeper one, which means Madueke's somewhere over here, right? So we play in the ball to the left. Who's that? To Chilwell. We build up, and now look. Let's go back a bit. Right? Watch this. Watch this, and this happens all the time. We get the ball here, and now look at Enzo Fernandez. Watch him. Watch Enzo. Watch him. So then Caicedo receives the ball now. All right. Look how many Liverpool players are around the guy. So Caicedo receives the ball in the middle, right? And now he's got to, instead of going forward, he's got to get away from Nunes, by the way, who's the striker. And by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players just standing there, not marking no one. They're not marking anyone. Okay, so and then the ball goes out wide to Disassi. All right, keep watching. Look. Now look at that. Look at that. So what are we doing at this point here? Other than Disassi maybe going long and going out to where Enzo Sterling and is that Chilwell? Is that Gallagher? Sorry, that's Gallagher. That's Gallagher, Enzo, Sterling. Palmer's coming deep again because he wants to, it's his natural ability. He plays as a 10. He wants to receive the ball. Yeah. Disassi decides to go back because there's no one to pass to. No one's here. No one's here to receive the ball, which drags him out of position. And then Gallagher can sit here and win the ball. And then Sterling's free because he's done, like, it's basics. It's basic coaching. Look, now watch. So, Badiashile gets the ball. Caicedo drops deep. Look at this. So we get it out wide, all right? Okay, cool. We get it out wide. Chilwell moves forward, completely loses the ball. Enzo, by the way, here he is. Here he is. He's still instructed to stay here. Sterling's come deep with Gallagher. And we lose the ball. Yeah, he loses the ball because he's incompetence to release the ball quick enough. And then all of a sudden, look at the state of our midfield. Look how badly structured we are. Look at it. Because now at this point, all they've got to do is one little pass, which they've just done there into the middle, which completes. Bang. There. See you later, Caicedo. The Sassi's okay because Diaz is a bit farther away. But now the centre-backs have got pressure because Núñez is free. And they score. And I need to go back to that goal. Because I need to go back to that goal. Because no protection from midfield because they're halfway up the pitch playing as blimmin' forward line because they're the furthest player forward, Enzo. And then this is just abysmal. I'm sorry, even for Thiago Silva. That kind of tackle there is unacceptable. That's a weak tackle. And then Badiashile, I mean, I don't really know what to say to you guys. I don't really get. But do you get what I'm trying to get at? Do you get my point? And what I'm trying to get to you guys is, yes, Caicedo and Enzo cost 200 million pounds. Yes, should they be playing better in these games? Yes, but guess what? Guess what? They can't because the manager is hindering them. If Enzo Fernandez is one of our best players on the ball, if he's one of our best players on the ball, yeah, and we need him to be on the ball more, right? He has to be on the ball, right, when Chelsea play well. All right? Why is he there? Because someone tell me. He's even further than Gallagher, for goodness sake. How are we meant to use his abilities on the ball and creativity when Potter's instructions are to play him on the last man all the time? Against a team that's actually pressing you as well. This ain't a low block where you can get away with it like we did against Middlesbrough because they played low block. So him being in that position was okay because the defence was up. We were here. We're at the halfway line at that point. We could do it. Caicedo was a bit more comfortable because he was further up at this point. We're doing it against a team that presses, that has quality. And I get that he wants to implement his systems. But you have to, you know, if your system isn't benefiting your players, then you need to tweak it to get the best out of what you've got. And he's not doing that. He's just forcing them to play this style. And we got battered for 45 minutes because of this. Because of this. And it didn't matter if Enzo dropped deeper to receive the ball and Caicedo was away from him. Them three midfielders for Liverpool were having a field day because all they had to do was press. That's all they had to do, was keep pressing the person that received the ball in midfield because he had no one around him. And there was times where Enzo was in Caicedo's position. He gets the ball deep. He's got two players on him. He's looking up to try and play a ball forward. He can't do it because there's no one to link the play with. What is it he's expecting Caicedo to do? Go through three players and then play the ball. And then we would be effective because we've got more players up the pitch. It can't work like that. You can't play someone who's like... You can't play someone who's great on the ball tactically, because we saw it last season when he came to Chelsea, but he was here, deeper, and guess what? No one was talking about him then because he was deeper, even though we didn't want to see him as a DM, but he was more involved and he was able to utilise and play balls. But under Poch, this is what he does with him. I don't like it. What is that? Why is he playing as a striker? And why is Caicedo left alone all the time? And what's Gallagher doing? Just running around in circles. Yeah. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying the players are not to blame. We spoke about the players. I've sat there and gone through all the players of you guys just earlier. But I was coming to Poch. And I can't stand how naive he is with implementing this structure that is not working. You're not getting the best out of these 100-odd million pound players in your team when you're doing this. How is it he goes to PSG and makes them toothless when they've got Neymar, Mbappe, and whoever else who was up front with him at the time, and with Verratti in the middle? How does he manage to do that? How do you do that? Please, just digest that. All the idiots and the people that keep moaning about Caicedo and Enzo, please look at this. Please. And this is what I say about the eye. Watch the game. See what we're trying to do. Tactics. There isn't. I found one picture. I hope I can find it. I'm going to go and find it now. With Caicedo. All right. I hope it's still on it. I think Pies put it up. Here we go. Look at this. And this is, by the way, through game. This is not just once that we're doing this. Look. This is how we're setting up all the time. Look. What is that? This is Frank ball. Are we playing Lampard ball right now? Are we actually playing Lampard ball? And listen, we're not coaches. Yeah, but guess what? We're football fans. We've watched our club win things. Yeah? We know when things ain't working and we're fans. We can see. We can see what's going on. I can see from a tactical point where we're going wrong and what he needs to do. And it's basic, intricate things. Drop him deeper. Enzo's position should be here. Here. Not there. That position there is of Gallagher's or Palmer's. Whoever's playing in a 10. They're there. Because then what? The defenders can play out the ball, guys. And yes, they were bad at playing the ball yesterday. But look at what they've got to play to as well. They can't go through the middle because every midfielder, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, they've just done a circle around Caicedo, man. They're not even worried about Enzo or Gallagher or Sterling or any of these men. They're not worried about them because we can't get the ball that far. We can't get the ball that far. That's how bad it is. Like, they're not even caring about Enzo there because he's inefficient. He's ineffective. They're more worried about Enzo being here. If you watch how many times he comes deep and then Szoboszlai chases him, or because they're worried. He's got the ball. He can see the picture. You can see what's in front of him. He's got the ability to hurt you with the ball. Not here, where he's got to fucking battle Kanate, physicality. Please, guys, come on. How are we not seeing this? And this is not me saying, I know a lot of people will Poch out, but this is not me saying whatever, like, you know, get out Poch. But if he keeps playing like this, it's going to lead to one thing. You can't keep doing this. He has to be sitting there watching this. How can I see this, but he can't see this? It's just naivety. We can't play like this in the final. We can't play like this in the final. We will get run upon. Liverpool pressed very well yesterday, and they hurt us. They hurt us, guys. Nearly 200 people in the building. Guys, tap the likes, share it out. Tap the likes and share it out. And I wonder if there's any more of this. Let's have a look. Let's go back from here. I can't really show that. I'd like to, but need to be careful of things. And again. Yeah, we've got the youngest squad. Yeah, this was disgusting, by the way. This as well. This here. Good on the lad for impersonating Chelsea's entire midfield structure. Caicedo under Poch, literally on his own. That was poor. I don't know why they keep showing this, but I can't watch that. We've just watched this as well. I need to be careful. Let's watch this quickly. Gallagher Fia. Cruyff turn. Get lost. How many times have we watched that this season as well, honestly? How many times have we watched that this season? It's everything, guys. It's the performance of players, okay? Some that are playing in position, by the way, in position. And it's also the performance and tactics of our own manager that can't work out when to change and impact games like he did yesterday. He left the whole half for us to play like that and get run upon and didn't think, shit, Caicedo's getting the ball here. He's under pressure. What are we going to do here? Yeah, no, I just come off it. I just come off it. But no, I don't think so because there was no thingy at the top. It's just basic common sense. I hope you watched my analysis. If anyone didn't watch my analysis of our midfield, go back 10 minutes and watch it. Go back 10 minutes of this and watch what I showed you, what happened. And that is what happens all the time. But everyone wants Enzo and Caicedo, who are £100 million players, to do wonders and miracles in a tactic, in a system that's not benefiting them, not benefiting us, not benefiting them. No wonder they're frustrated. Let me send the link, guys, because I know there's a lot of people from here that want to get involved as well. Guys, the link if they want to join. Hey, Couch, the link's in the chat. Link. What do you want me to say? Honestly, you just want to moan about the £100 million players. I'm not talking about all of you because not all of you are saying that. You just want to moan about the £100 million players that we got and their performances. Well, guess what? They're being hindered by their own manager in their own performance because this is what they're being drilled to do. This is just what they're doing in training because we're doing it every week. And he's not too naive because he wants to still do it. And in his head, because it worked against Middlesbrough, because it worked against fucking Palace and Luton or whatever, yeah, he thinks that's the way forward for this football club. But guess what? I keep saying it. You come against a different opposition, some that are better than you at this moment in time and of better system, better pressers, better everything. Do you know what he did against Arsenal at home so well? And I'm going to say this quickly. Do you know why we did so well against Arsenal, even though we drew? Do you know what he did? He tactically actually done what I said for once. He made Caicedo and Enzo play so deep next to each other. Odegaard was inept. Tactically, he stopped Enzo from doing what he's doing there against Liverpool, yeah, against the Arsenal game, which actively led us to a 2-0 lead if Sanchez didn't kick the ball to Rice, yeah. He made them stay closer to each other in that game, which they were more successful. They linked play well. They were breaking play down, and they worked as a team. Even though Enzo didn't get as much of the ball, yeah, he done something that helped the midfield and made us look structurally better in that game. But guess what? He did it in the Liverpool game. This is just such a naive way to think as well. You can't say that. You just can't. You guys are so, some of you are so narrow-minded. It's ridiculous. You spent 200 million to perform. 200 million means they have to perform. Use your eyes, man. Use your eyes. Look at things, guys. There's a reason behind it. And I mean, I'm not going to listen to Skills. He's an Arsenal fan. I don't care what he thinks. Like, it's so in your eyes and frustrating. I don't want to see these top young players playing like they did yesterday. But yeah, we called out some of the players earlier today, and they deserve to be called out. But I also needed to still call out what I saw again. And it was crap from him again. Couch, welcome in, bro.
Yo,
Here for the vibes, yeah? Here for the vibes, brother.
Where's everybody else, man? I was actually gonna, get some popcorn going, eat some popcorn, listen to whatever. Where's AJ at, man? Where's Don, man?
I don't know. I've
Where's
sent the
Don
link
at,
to him,
man?
but listen, Couch. When it comes to me, my thoughts and feelings and things that we
Yeah,
talk a lot anyway. And it's not that I'm gagging up on Poch. I can only go on what I see and feel, and what I see and feel yesterday. Did you watch what I just done on the analysis, by the way, of
yeah,
Caicedo?
it was bang on, cracking, and
Did
that's basically going to make up the majority of my review.
Go on, go. You talk now. I've had enough of talking. Go on, you go.
The positioning of the midfielders, and I said that even in the chat yesterday. That was the biggest problem for me in the first half. The fact that we had Enzo so far up. We're playing basically a 4-3-3 with Caicedo sitting as the solo 6 when we're getting pressed by 6 people. And it just made no sense to me, because the reasoning behind it was you needed to have at least another body beside him to break that press. Once you get past that first wave of the press is when you can start getting into, that the teeth of the defense and attack. But we could, first of all, there's all sorts of problems. It's not just tactically, it's also execution-wise. We gave away the ball every time we were about to get out. We gave away the ball. We passed it incorrectly. I don't know what Petrovic was doing. Like, we talked about this in the pre-match as well. What was the game plan? You were saying, well, if we play Palmer up top, we certainly cannot try and play with his back to goal, try and launch up the field and whatnot, because he's just going to get eaten alive, Palmer, right? So I was saying,
anyway.
keep the ball. Yeah, of course. Keep the ball on the carpet and play through them. That's the only way we're going to beat these guys, to have possession. And every time we got in a position where we could break their press, we gave the ball away. Chilwell was horrible, like horrific the entire game.
I called him out already.
Rightfully subbed at half. The times that we did, the only time we were effective breaking them was when Enzo was actually flanked out on that left there, where we, I think there was one time where Caicedo was playing solo 6, and he was able to, I think, shift it out to Enzo, and then Enzo launched it into space for like Raheem Sterling. And Raheem Sterling was 1v1 with Konate. And I think what ended up happening there was Gallagher got into the box and ended up, that was the first penalty shout too. That was the only time in the first half that I thought we were anywhere near threatening. And it has a lot to do with the setup. It has a lot to do with just not realizing that what you're doing right now on the pitch is not working. Let's just be honest. First half,
you're playing Enzo as fucking McTominay, bro. Sorry,
and you know what the funny thing is? Like, the only time we actually effectively broke their press was when Enzo actually dropped into the midfield along with Caicedo. That was the only time in the first half.
I agree.
That was the only time.
Yeah,
it was like I'm watching it again now because
why can't he see this?
Sorry,
why can't he see what we're saying? Oh, actually,
I don't know. It was painful to watch, man.
Like, why doesn't he make decisions, man? He's too naive. And then on top of that, we get slapped the first 45 minutes. Granted, he changes it with the substitutions, right? But they come out with this whole given up mentality. What was it he said to him at half time? Because when they come out, they just, we're losing. Well, where was the intensity? Let's have a go. Let's try.
That's what you get with young teams, though, right? Like, I'm not going to put that on him.
Yeah, but it also comes with the manager as well, I think.
Well, I mean, even if you give them the hairdryer at that point, young players just have their heads down a lot, man. You need leaders in the dressing room. You need leaders in the dressing room, right?
Yeah, I know, but there's some things that Pochettino said after the game that tells me that conversation at halftime probably came from his mouth. I'm going to find it, actually. Go on, you can keep going.
Yeah, no, I just think you need leaders, and we're bereft of them right now. Like, Ben Chilwell's our captain on the day, and he was the worst player on the pitch. That tells you all you need to know there.
And Sterling, he really pissed me off yesterday, Sterling. He was poor.
To beat a team like this, you need grafting from out wide, because you're not going to beat them through the middle with 6 guys basically sitting on Caicedo, Enzo, and I don't know if they're sitting on Gallagher, but they definitely screened them out of the game. So you certainly need to have those wide areas like the Chilwells, the Sassis, Maduekes, and Raheem Sterling's grafting, like coming deep, collecting, playing the ball quickly, knowing where the next pass is supposed to go. Palmer played the whole half in our end, like basically coming deep and trying to help us build, and they never once found him in the middle. I don't think that the ball came into the middle enough times for us to effectively break the press, because as much as you have to go down the flank because you're worried about what happens if you try and play it to Caicedo and Enzo in the first phase. Once you go down the flank, you have to bring it back into the middle of the pitch to break the press. That's fundamental. And I don't think that we did that correctly once, maybe twice the entire first half. And then from there, the game was just done. Like there was nothing we could do.
Yeah, and like this is what I'm saying about like mindset as well, though. Like, yeah, it's a tough place to go. We know Poch, but then you're like, we knew Liverpool. Why Liverpool is top of the table? It was maybe a little bit too much for us. Like, maybe I get that to a degree, but at the same time, bro, you've got like put confidence in them, man. Like, come on. Like, I don't like some of the things he says, and I'm not one to actually pick up on these things. I actually kind of ignore all this. I've never watched or listened like some people do across social media about everything he says and criticize him for what he says. But there's some things that he just says, and I'm just like, are they playing on the basis of your energy right now? Because when I listen to some of the things after the game, I'm like, well, no wonder they're just dossing around sometimes and not bothered or giving up, shall I say, in many ways. It's just not good enough.
We couldn't get a foot on that match. You're right. I would say that the mentality of the manager is certainly what you get. Yeah, it's certainly they take on the mentality of the manager, right? And like sometimes if he's giving these soft ass, like, okay, well, yeah, we could have been better, but like you have to get into them every now and then. I'm sure he has done that. I don't think that it's not been that way for him, but you certainly have to get into them and give them the fire. You know that Klopp is getting into his players when they're not playing the way they want to play. Like that's just a fundamental thing, right? But again, like much of that first half for me, and like I know, yeah, we weren't great, obviously tactically poor, but every time they scored, it was off of a turnover. A poor play, turnover. Like I don't know how we can't just ignore that. Like Chilwell was horrible that first half. Like we were baiting and begging for him to come back into the side because we didn't want to see Colwell there. I bet you Colwell would have had a better game. Like without question.
There was moments where Chilwell went forward in the first half and Sterling was he had all the space in front of him. He just stood there, wouldn't even move. And that forced Chilwell to go back, and going back equally lost the ball because every time he went back, the only one person in the midfield was Caicedo. So every time he tried to go backwards, we ended up losing the ball. So this is what I'm saying: structure, balance. Like, yeah, he was bad because he's running forward with the ball and he's not releasing the balls quick enough. But like there wasn't even any options for him. Like I was watching the clip just now.
There were plenty of options. He just kept on giving it to
there was options. Yeah, it was some moments where he gave the ball away. Don't get me wrong, and I was really annoyed with him. I was like, "What are you doing, Chilwell?" But there was one chance he ran through right. He beat someone, and the right back of Liverpool came running at him, and Sterling was free, by the way. But Sterling just stood there. He didn't run, didn't make an angle so he could whip it. He just stood there. So Chilwell's gone to cut in on his left foot, and he gets tackled. And then they play the ball forward, and we were completely out of position. And I'm just like, you forwards have to do more. You're standing there. Madueke, Sterling, you have to make an option, guys. If he beats a man, run. They're just toddling. Like, and the problem with Palmer playing as the 9 yesterday, this is what I was trying to say to you yesterday. Most of the time, he kept coming so deep because he wasn't getting the ball, and his natural instinct was to come deep. Why?
Because isn't that the role of the false nine, though, to come deep?
Yeah, but then yes, it is. But at the same time, that's why I didn't want it against Liverpool.
Okay, so you wanted Bro. What do you honestly like? Give me your honest opinion on Broha this season.
I just wanted us to play with a striker for 45 minutes. Yeah.
No. Just give me your honest opinion on what you've seen from Broha this season in terms of like holding up the ball, linking up play.
I just think whether
just answer that. Just answer that. What has he been like when you've seen him play, like with the hold up play and the link up play?
I think it would have been much more of a nuisance than Palmer yesterday, in my opinion.
But what have you seen from him this season?
Not actually had that many chances. Doesn't get involved in the game enough.
So you're not being genuine right now because he's been awful, right? He's been fucking awful.
Yeah, he's not been. Listen, it's not the point.
So in a game where you know he's awful, in a game like this,
missing the point. At the end of the day, if you've got a striker on the bench, use him. Stop putting players out of position.
So
It's-
any
I don't
striker will
care.
do at this point. Any striker will do then, right?
No, I just wouldn't play.
Okay, so he's been
Palmer, who's
poor, right?
playing
He's been
very well in
awful.
his
If you
10.
want to put him in the game at Anfield against Liverpool,
Yeah,
against
I
Van
do.
Dijk, because you
I
think
would
you
have.
need a
Or, if
striker.
anything, I would have
And
played
you-
Nkunku to play the 60 or the 90 minutes. But we know
Well,
he couldn't.
you didn't, and then when he gets injured, what are we talking about then?
No,
He's not
what I
ready
would have
to do
done.
that.
Listen,
Couch.
what-
You throwing
Couch.
all these hypotheticals, but like the proof
I
is
would
in
have
the
started,
pudding,
brother.
The proof
Just-
is
And then I would have
You're
took
gonna
him off.
start with
If it didn't
Broha.
work, I would have took him off and played Nkunku. Still would have had two strikers on the pitch through
Yeah,
that whole
okay.
game.
All right,
That's
hey,
what I
I'm here
would've
for the vibes, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Like,
That's what I would
Broha
have
was
done.
the reason why we didn't win this game.
No,
Go
it
on.
wasn't to do with that. But it's not just
That's
Broha.
petty.
That's not what I'm saying. You know, that's not the case. But what I'm saying is, at least
AJ, the first thing you said in the chat was, "This is why you wanted Broha to play." So don't tell me that this is not it. This is why
Okay,
you
yeah,
wanted
and that's that. Did you just say that, or did you say something
Explain
else?
why you wanted him to play. Explain it.
Why do I have to explain it? You just said I said it in the chat, right?
Well, explain it. I want to hear. I want to
Okay,
hear.
so like Jem said, the whole first half, why were we pinned in our own half? Why?
Because we couldn't play out from the back.
Why?
Because
This
we
is
weren't. We didn't have the numerical numbers.
There was
in the back.
no.
Yeah.
All the spaces was closed down because Liverpool had 3 free players to close down every space, right? Just because the center backs were not occupied by anybody. That's exactly why. It's a simple tactic.
Well, I'm watching it right now. I'm watching.
You're such a cerebral person, but you
Yeah.
refuse to accept that.
I'm watching it right now, and I'm telling you right now, the reason why we couldn't get out is because we didn't have a numerical advantage in the midfield. I'm watching it right now. Whenever we went long to try and play a little bit more direct, the distribution from Petrovic was all over the place. He could not find anybody. Like, I kid you not. Like, of the 8 times that he went long in the first half, he found the offensive player once.
Look,
we lost every duel. We lost every duel but one.
The 2 reasons we could not get out is because, one, the Liverpool defense was free to step in any position, and 2, like we always complain about, Pochettino has Enzo playing. I don't know what he's playing. He's not playing in the pivot next to Caicedo. Those are our 2 issues every single game.
Especially kicking it. Sterling gonna win headers.
So it's like, how is Caicedo supposed to work some space? How is Enzo supposed to work some space if they're all isolated? There's no link up between them. I've said this in our chat how many times. Count how many times Enzo and Caicedo play the ball to each other, because that's the key right there.
100%. And you know what? The reason why I go on
what Molly said. You're right about that, Molly. Like, there's no reason to go long to begin with. You're right. This is why I said in the pregame, I was saying, listen, if we're going to win this game, we have to keep possession of the football.
But guess what? You could have gone long with Broha up there, because at least he could have striker. Do you know what I mean? Like, you still could have gone long with Broha up there.
If you're getting pressed out, you have to start going long. That's why we were going long, because we couldn't get out. You're the one who's saying we can't.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But the reasons why we couldn't get out was because we didn't have the numbers in the back to play out. That was the problem I had the entire time.
I'll tell you why we couldn't play out. It was the midfield again. Yeah, but not only were the back 4 very poor at passing the ball out most of the game. Let's just say that, which is unusual for us. We're usually quite good at the back from at least getting the ball forwards. But why I said Broha was because, irrelevant to his ability right now and how crap he is or whatever, if you just stick him up there with either Konate and Van Dijk, in their minds, they've got to deal with him. It doesn't matter. It's on their mind. They have to deal with him. That then releases Palmer to play the more Gallagher position, which means he can come deeper and receive balls and help us to try and get up the pitch. And what I then would have done, and this is where the tactical things are on, we've all agreed on this, is just put Enzo a little bit closer to Caicedo. And I guarantee, if we would have just done that, we would have been able to get up the pitch a lot easier.
You guys saw me in the chat, and what did I say? The problems that we're having right now is we're playing 4-3-3, and we need to be playing 4-2-3-1 with Enzo next to Caicedo. We didn't have the numbers to cope with their press. And every time we went long, the moment that you put Palmer on the pitch and you start going long, that's a problem to me. Okay, that's a problem. That is a tactical problem. Okay,
especially if he's playing false 9. Especially if he's playing false 9, that's the problem, because Palmer is the link to our attack. In every successful game that we've had, it's been Palmer receiving the ball, playing the ball
through. Yeah,
it's not the only way. It's not the only way. There's a way. It is a way for sure. I give you that. It is a way, but it's not the only way. But with that said, this particular match, like, to be honest with you guys, I'm not trying to defend the manager here. I really think that, like, tactically we were poor yesterday. Like that you can't deny that. Like, but I don't know if the solution is playing Broa up top, to be honest with you. Like, I just don't think that that's the solution.
It's not the singular solution.
You're not understanding now.
No, I'm not saying it's not that I don't understand. I just don't see that what he brings to the game, providing anything.
You're missing what he does for the rest of the team. That's what you're missing. This is what I'm saying.
What does he do? What does he do? That's what I'm asking you.
It doesn't matter. Listen, and I just explained it, Char, just this second.
You said he'll occupy Van Dijk. He's not bothering Van Dijk.
It's like playing a Nicholas Jackson up there. He's going to occupy them, right? As soon as you put a
Nicholas
striker,
Jackson has a lot more to offer than Broha.
Yeah, but
a lot more.
They still got to
work with what we have, though. We got to work with what we have.
He can still make runs in behind and do something which makes him go the other way. It releases Palmer to be able to then receive them balls between the McAllister position and the defence that then allows us to get forward. And guess why? Because when Enzo's a bit deeper, he has the ability to do that because we know he can pass through the middle. So once he or Caicedo can beat their man when they're pressing us like they was yesterday, which was very good from Liverpool, we maybe would have been able to get up the ball a bit up the pitch a bit better with Broa at least making some runs when Palmer receives the ball and the wingers being a bit more free. Because what we tried to do in the first half so many times was just play, when we were trying to get forward, was just play Madueke or Sterling through. That was the only thing we done.
That was it.
Guess what?
That was the strategy.
Guess what? Let me finish. But guess what? Okay. Like what me and AJ said yesterday, because Kanate and Van Dijk didn't have no one to mark, they ate up the space every time he got around.
Everything was cleaned up.
Problem. This is what I'm saying.
I agree.
These little things that I could see, which if we could just forget the ability and what, like, just.
But the ability is a big problem, though. Like, it's not any striker will do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not about any striker will do in these positions. The guy's been playing so poor for more than a month now, and you want to play him in the number 9 position at Anfield.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So any striker will do.
For me, it's all about it's all about the occupying in that game. That's all I'm saying.
That's all that it is.
I just want him to occupy.
Right. I'll give you that. I'll concede that. You're saying that he would have at least occupied them, right?
Yes.
And
that's
so him occupying them is going to allow us to play out a little bit better then, yeah, as well?
Yes, that's what I think anyway. So? Whether it's,
How so?
Did we not have, we brought on Nkunku in the second half, right?
Yeah.
Nkunku's not fully fit. He's not able to do everything that he wants to do. But instantly, didn't you see that the Liverpool defensive line dropped back 10, 15 yards just because there was
I don't know if that had anything to do with our substitutions, because even in the first half, the first 15 minutes of that Enzo, watch the game again, AJ. Like, I'm telling you, the first 15 minutes of that game in the second half, they were still pressing us and dominating us. It was only after, like, so you saw that too, then, right? There was no real change. And
I agree.
Were we more in the game though? Were we not having our own chances? Were we not holding a bit more?
We put the players off the pitch that were playing shit. So we were better. Chilwell wasn't on the pitch to give away the ball anymore. Yeah, we were better. No doubt about it. I felt in the second half. And of course,
I still don't like the way Badiashile got beaten at the back post, by the way.
Say again?
Poor. I still don't like the way Badiashile got beaten at the back post like that. That was very poor.
To be honest, he should have kept Chilwell on the field. I know he wasn't having the best game, but come on, man. Like,
guys, you can't watch that first half and expect Chilwell to play the rest of the game.
I would have if we switched it.
The first 15 minutes, he gave away the ball directly to the opponent 3 times in 15 minutes. And then he's diving over on the pitch. He's on a yellow card. He's not looking to attack. Like, there was nothing about Chilwell's game yesterday that was
the success that we got in the second half, funny enough, came from Gusto, who came on the pitch and was actually breaking down the wings. So why not for once just have flowing fucking fullbacks and not rely on one fullback to test up the pitch? Just try it.
You can make that argument. Today. I don't think that Gusto was fit. I don't think that Gusto was fit to play a full 90.
I know, but we could have kept Chilwell on and just play Gusto off the right. That's what I would have done.
You really wanted to see more Chilwell after that first half.
I would have gone with it. He was as bad as he was. I still would have, because you're putting Badiashile there again. All right, and like,
Hey,
what are you going to do?
hey,
Add your shoes?
honestly, it's pick your poison at this point. But with Chilwell on a yellow and playing the way he was in that first half,
Enzo and Caicedo are on yellows.
yeah, no shit. Who are you going to bring on for them? What's the name? Cassidy?
Well, we did. Literally.
Did Cassidy come on?
It's just a mess. It's just a mess.
He came on at the end of the game.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that, man. Fuck.
He came on before Caicedo.
You see, the problem is we too many times we are playing against ourselves. Too many times. We've proven that the false nine. First of all, we played the false nine against Middlesbrough in the first leg. We didn't score. That was the omen right there. We didn't score.
You know how I feel about that, though, right, AJ?
I mean, you say that we had chances. I agree. We had some chances, but
and if we buried them, are we talking about the false nine position?
Yeah, okay. And if we buried our one chance yesterday, or if we got a penalty yesterday, if it's mad ifs, that's what I'm saying. We have to look at the overall picture. We ended up not getting something out the game. I think we played false nine again after that. We ended up not winning the game. It just doesn't work for us. We don't have the type of players that it works for. You have to be an elite team to be playing false nine, especially against Konate and Van Dijk. It's too easy for they already dominate in general, right? So when they have nobody to mark, it's super easy. Van Dijk is praising God that he has nobody to mark because now he could just do whatever he wants to do on the field, right? And that's why as soon as Nkunku came on the field, granted he's a better player, I agree, he's a better player, yes, but it's still showing you that we need to occupy a center back, even if our strikers are not the best. We don't have the best strikers. Jackson comes on, half the fan base still going to say, "Oh, he's not good enough." So we can't live in that.
In aspects of his game, for sure. Like we're okay. Can we just say this? We're just not good enough yet. Okay. Can we just leave it there? We're just not good enough. Because you guys are crying. You guys are crying about keeping Chilwell on the pitch when he was having the worst game of probably a mare of a game. You wanted him on the pitch because you didn't want to see Badiashile out there, who's been awful as well. You guys are crying for Broha to play striker when he was horrific in I can't tell you how many games the last little while.
What was better? What you wanted?
We still can't run from the problem, though, Couch. We still got to handle the game. We still have to play.
Yeah, no shit. We did. And we got cooked.
We got cooked.
We got fucking
it's the way that you and Ford wanted yesterday.
Exactly.
We got
exactly what you wanted.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure I told you yesterday, Jem. I was very much on the fence about how I wanted to go about this game because it wasn't going to be an easy choice either way. I'm sure that's what I left saying. I wanted false nine because I didn't want to see Broha on the pitch because he's been awful.
Yeah, guess what? By doing that, we completely inepted the only player that is actually effective in a deeper role for us by playing him as a striker. Which again,
I don't think that anything Palmer would have done, like when he came, because he did come deep. For the majority of the game, he came deep.
Do what with it? No one's there in front of him.
What do you mean? Even when Nkunku came on, Nkunku was there. He still didn't do anything.
He still came.
The game should have. Travis said it. The game should have been 7-2. We easily should have lost more in the first half.
We should have lost anyway.
Been down 5-0 at halftime. It was so easy.
Easily. And the problem for like the strength in this team is the midfield, and we could not get them involved in the game. That's where the game was lost for me.
I agree. And what's worse is it seems like Pochettino has no awareness or can't see that that's not working because we've been doing it all season and he's still insisting on doing it. It's like, bro, are you incompetent?
He didn't even know
what's going on.
AJ, he didn't even do it against. This is what really annoys me. When we were at home against Arsenal, he played Enzo and Caicedo so deep to stop Odegaard from being effective. It actually worked, and we went 2-0 up. Like, why are you doing this now against a team that actually presses and is top of the league? Very well, by the way, better than Arsenal, in my opinion.
It's so clear that he's telling Enzo to stay higher in a certain position. It's so clear that because there be moments that Enzo's doing it, and I'm like, why is this? Does Enzo not see that Caicedo is in trouble right now? That's even my thing too. It's like, okay, I know Pochettino's telling Enzo to do this, But Enzo is playing the game. He needs to realize that Caicedo is in trouble. Every time he receives the ball, he has 2-3 players on him, and he has to fight off to get a simple 2-yard pass that takes us nowhere.
Right.
Listen,
But
guys.
most of the turnovers weren't with
I'll
Caicedo,
keep putting
right?
it out.
Am I right?
Look, there you go.
Most of the turnovers came from the wide areas, right? And the inability to get the ball central again, right? Like that's what I saw for the majority of the first half in particular. We just could not get the ball back infield. Every time we went out wide, it was like running down the cul-de-sac to the turnover. Chilwell turned over the ball more times than I don't want to keep harping on this guy, but it was killing me. Like this guy could not connect one.
But why did we keep going to Chilwell though? Because there was no fucking options in the midfield.
There's nothing in the middle. There's nothing in the middle.
Exactly, and this is what I've been screaming about. And again, I don't know if AJ and Don saw my analysis earlier on of the.
Oh, I saw it, bro. You're cooking, bro. I saw it.
Like, what? How can he not see what we're seeing as fans? That's what I don't get. How can you do this to? And the problem is, look at his position there. Look, he's Enzo. He's playing like a fucking striker.
Bro, Jem. I said this a few weeks ago. Pochettino is trying to get us to play like Liverpool with technical players. It does not work.
Do you know what's even more funny?
Why am I seeing Enzo trying to crash the box in build up, bro? We're trying to build up, and I'm seeing Enzo Fernandez trying to fucking crash the box, bro. What's going on?
What's even more funny, right? Look at this picture, right?
Crash the box. We
barely
had possession.
You see these players here, right? Szoboszlai.
He was close enough to the box. He might as well be crashing it, Couch.
I don't even remember seeing the box.
One second, before you go on. 1 second. I just want to.
You're taking my words too literally, bro.
Szoboszlai, McAllister, Curtis Jones. Okay, this is their three midfielders. Okay, yeah, this is them all game, right? Caicedo. Do you know what's so funny? And this is literally dissing our system. They don't give a fuck about how we want to play because they're not worried about all of our players being ahead of them here. Because what any other opposition team would be worried about if a team was effective in his system is what goes on here because they've got the players that hurts them. But they know Enzo being there and Gallagher being here is so wasteful in terms of, like it not working that they're not even worried about marking them. They're so far up the pitch. They just want to stop Caicedo from getting the ball. That goes to show how bad our system is because Klopp's even telling them, just play how we always play. Don't worry about what they're doing. It's not going to work.
Like that's exact. This is exactly what I'm going to be focusing on in my video. Exactly this. The fact that we did not adjust our tactics to suit what the game was calling for at this point in time. You're bang on here. Like this, there's no denying that. Like we should have been playing a 4-2-3-1 to play out to beat this particular aggressive high press. Yes. No questions about it. The 4-3-3 with a single pivot was not going to work. Not going to work here.
And it doesn't change. He doesn't change shit. Like, and that is my main thing. This is why I said I'm Poch out like maybe a month ago because of this type of shit. Over January, we played some easier, quote unquote, opposition, some lower opposition. So it kind of gave us a false hope of, oh, we're improving. Oh, look, false nine, we create some chances. Oh, we winning the ball off the press. We're playing these mid teams. We got to a final playing a mid team, right? All of that shit has gotten to our head. We play a top team yesterday. And Liverpool look at the players that's on the field for Liverpool. This is not even a super top Liverpool team. But the manager has them balling out, and that's the difference of what a manager can do.
Yeah, but a manager that's been in that role for a long time can do, right?
He's been in that role, but he's still.
You know, AJ. I was listening to I was listening to DR Sports today, innit? I was listening to what's his name, the Liverpool fan AGT, and he literally said that was our best first half performance all season, right? That was our best first half performance all season, yeah, because Liverpool. They've been known this season to be a second half team. In the first half, normally they're flat when you watch their games, right? And even United, who was United's best game this season? It was against us again because of how we were set up, and it's the same thing as yesterday, right? Like I said, I didn't want to bash Poch too much in that first half because number one, you guys know I don't like Palmer as a 9. I think it doesn't work. It doesn't work long term. It's not sustainable football. It's just not good, yeah. But I understood why he did that. I was happy with the subs, but end of the day, the instructions that he's given to these players, like I said, making Enzo run away far from Caicedo, right? Leaving Caicedo by himself against a Liverpool team that on the transition are one of the most dangerous teams in Europe, bro. Not just in the league, in Europe. I know they call Caicedo the octopus, but he does not have 8 legs, bro. He doesn't have 6 legs or 15 legs that they think he does. He's getting man running at him, because every time we turn over the ball, because we can't fucking build up with Ben Chilwell playing grenade football on the left-hand side, you've got Enzo so far away from fucking Caicedo. He's by himself, bro. He's by himself. And that's what constantly kept happening the whole fucking game. And that's what I'm saying. Poch is too negative. He doesn't think about our strengths. He thinks about the opposition way too much. He's setting these guys up to fail and making them worse than what they are.
Sorry. You think that we set up to our strengths, to our weaknesses, to defend at that point? Because that's
no.
opposite.
No. I'm not saying we set up to defend. What I'm saying is, he's not setting us up correctly. And in general, this guy thinks about the opposition way too much.
Okay, but way too much. This game was not an example of that, though, right? Because he didn't think about what Liverpool were doing at all this game.
Oh, no, he didn't. He definitely didn't. He definitely didn't. He was very naive. And like I said, he was trying to go bar for bar with players that don't suit that style of play, is the point that I'm making. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, he was trying to literally play like them when we don't have players that play like them, really and truly. Do you know what I mean? Our midfield,
we're not a settled side to do that, for sure.
Yeah, we're not a settled side to be doing that. We press well, cool. We counter press well, but Liverpool are just better than us when it comes to that. You know, even Gallagher yesterday, his press was poor. They were just popping around him.
I don't even think we got to ability to where we could even test our high press. We never got out. We never got out. Like, that was the most important aspect of getting on your bike and working that high press is pinning them in. But first of all, you have to get out. We couldn't get out. There's not one. There's 1 and 2 opportunities where we actually got out. One of them is highlighted here, and then we turn over the ball and it's back, and we score, and they score. You know, like we never got out that entire game. We never.
Yeah, we didn't.
This is why I put this game on Poch, is because he never solved the puzzle of how are we going to play out right now.
That's it all the time.
You know, and then
it was a game of. For me, it was actually a game of 2 halves, because, like I said, in that first half, when you're playing Palmer as a false 9, like I said yesterday in the group chat, I was literally watching Palmer and Gallagher playing as 2 8s, bro. In certain parts of the game, I'm seeing Gallagher as our striker, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And when you've got Gallagher and Palmer occupying the same space, that means that you've got no striker, and Van Dijk and Konate can push up even further up. Do you get it? So it weren't even they were Liverpool were a lot higher than what they usually are. They were a lot higher than what they usually are because of how bad we were and the fact that we had no striker, which I completely understood in the first half, like I said, but it's not good. In the second half, you can see straight away when he brought in Nkunku on, we were a lot further up the pitch. We started off okay. Within the first 5 minutes, we created a chance for Mudryk. But again, after that second penalty that wasn't given, our heads dropped. Our heads completely dropped. You know, leaving Sterling on the whole game. Grenade football over there. Ben Chilwell, yes, he had to come off, but it's a howler. Again, this is why I wanted another left back, because now we're having to play Badiashile at left back again, making it very hard to build up from the back.
Would we benefit from back 3 if we went to a back 3 system?
But what was a back, bro? Like, guys, we played a back 3 today. Like, let's just be real here.
No, we didn't. We played. We didn't play.
When did Badiashile get up the pitch?
Badiashile was playing at Badiashile was playing at left back. Yeah, it was Gusto that was the one that was pressing forward, and he was the one sitting back in possession.
Saying the function of the game ends up being a back 3.
It ends up being a back 3. But what Jem's saying is, are we going to go to a 3 where we only have 2 midfielders? Is what he's saying.
Yeah,
right? Where we've only got 2 midfielders. I don't think that's the way to go about it. I just think that right now, the instructions that Poch is giving these players is suicidal. You know, it's suicidal. You're killing yourself, bro. You are literally killing yourself, bro. It was bad.
Midfield, our 200 and something million midfield, and our top number 10. Our team needs to be built around those 3 players, but we're not getting the best out of them.
No one can tell me that if Ange didn't have this team, wouldn't be a lot further up, wouldn't be playing a lot better. You know what I mean? He keeps everything simple, bro. This guy loves to overcomplicate shit. Too much, bro. Too much.
You know what's funny? Like, I remember hearing yesterday that you know, you guys respect Ange Postecoglou because he just stays with what his tactics are. You know, he doesn't change regardless of what the state of the game is. And now I'm hearing that we should have been changing our tactics. You know, we should have been changing up because it wasn't working. Like, Ange Postecoglou played us, had 9 men on the pitch, had the highest line I've ever seen in football. and never once changed his tactics and got obliterated because of it.
You're being disingenuous though, because the point is, if you watch Spurs the other week when they went to United, they had a midfield of let me finish my point. Let me finish my point, Couch.
Okay, so let me finish the conversation is doing change now.
The context of what I said about Ange, and the reason why I said if we had Ange, it will be a lot further up, is because Ange Postecoglou doesn't overcomplicate things. Yes, he was naive against us. He should have never played that high line. Should have dropped it back a little bit. I criticized him when he did that. But overall, in terms of what I've watched from him, his principles, he keeps it very basic. He plays people in a natural position, and he gives these guys instructions which are very easy to understand. Like I said, when they went to Old Trafford and played Man United, United on paper had a better midfield than Spurs. Spurs played a midfield of Højbjerg, Skip. Skip. Can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you know.
Hello.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, hold on a second.
Would this work for you?
I mean, in theory it works. In theory it works. In theory it works.
No, not really for me. I don't want to play. I don't want to play a legit back five. You know, like I think we need more attackers on the pitch.
Chilwell and Gusto be more effective because they could be up and down the pitch. It'd give us more width, and then Palmer could be more like sort of doing what he does in the 10, sort of like inside right, and then Nkunku doing the same from the left. And I don't know. I just think
sorry, man. I was getting a call, so let me finish what I was saying,
Yeah.
So when Spurs went to Old Trafford, they had a midfield of Højbjerg.
Can't forget.
It's always after Højbjerg too. Like, let's go.
I'm weak.
Yeah.
But I don't like Nkunku and Palmer in those positions, like both at the same time, because
they'd be playing inside though, right? They'd make a box between
forwards, so they'd come in a bit more inverted, and Chilwell would make runs out the left.
Yeah, but their play style to me is not like I don't know. I just like some directness in the team. Like I understand Nkunku's a great attacker, Palmer's a great attacker, but in terms of pace and directness, I think we're missing that in this team right here. So we'll already
that then.
Honestly, there's nothing wrong with the 4-2-3-1. Just take out Gallagher, play Palmer or play Chukwuemeka and play a striker, and play two fullbacks. There's nothing wrong with the setup that we have. Just play the right personnel. That's all that it is. We don't have to do all this tactical shit that we keep doing. Pochettino, just keep it simple. Caicedo and Enzo need to be on the same wavelength. It's time now. How much longer do you come on? He should be judged off of that simply because that's 250 million right there.
AJ, do you know what it is? AJ, do you know what it is right now? You know what this guy's actually doing right now? This guy has spent money on a Lamborghini, and he's got a Ferrari, and he's dashed them out of the way. He's leaving them. He's letting them get dusty, letting them get moldy, and he's focusing on his fucking forward focus. He's focusing on his forward focus. Okay. That's literally what he's doing. Okay. That's literally what he's doing, bro.
I'm just gonna say, so as we say this now, we got this Lamborghini. I just don't think we're good enough, to be honest. I don't think we're good enough. I think we need a striker to play, right? So everything that we're saying right now is always going to be taken with a little bit of conjecture, and it's always going to be with but we need this before we can actually say it. We need a complete team, and you can't complete a team without a spine. And if you don't have a striker, you don't have a spine. So for me, first and foremost, we got to get a striker in this team before we can make any real evaluation. Obviously, a goal scorer is a big, big need as well. And Nkunku came on, and every time he plays, he scores. He plays for 10 minutes and he scores. I don't even think he's played a 90 yet. I don't even think he's played 90 minutes. He's got 2 goals.
It's not easy chances either. It's not easy chances.
No, bro. Do you know about the guy barely had any space in the box?
No space.
Barely any space in the box. And the thing is, man hit it cleanly on his weaker foot, bro. Clean, bro.
Yeah. I mean, the levels is clear, bro. The levels is clear. But that's what, he's been injured. But that's why you have to play your best players close to. Who passed him the ball? I believe it was Palmer who passed him the ball.
No, it was Carney. It was Carney.
That's it. Play these players next to each other.
Let me just say something on Carney as well. Let me just say something. Anyhow, I still see Poch continuing to start Gallagher after the shit shows he's been putting up the past few weeks, and Carney doesn't start ahead of him. Then we're gonna have serious problems, because for me, it is night and day between the two of them. because
No
Carney
doubt.
presses well. Carney presses well, but on the
I
ball,
don't think
bro.
he's a great. I don't think he's as good a presser, but he gives you more. There's other aspects of the game that are much better.
Yes.
Much better.
That's the point that I'm making. He's not lazy off the ball. Everyone knows that the best presser in the team is probably Gallagher. Yeah, everyone knows this. But football is not just about pressing. But the point that I'm making is Carney can hold his own when it comes to pressing. He can press well, but on the ball, the guy is slick with it. He just plays what he sees, bro, and he kind of glides across the pitch, and he's very physical, bro. The guy's tall. He's tall, and he's only going to get better because he's 20. He's 20 years old, and I'm seeing a lot more quality than what I was seeing from Gallagher at 20. Gallagher at 20 was playing for Charlton, bro. Was playing for Charlton.
I think he was muted in the first game against Liverpool. I don't think that he had a solid game. But even with that said, we kept the ball a lot better in that first leg. That first game against Liverpool at the Bridge. Yeah. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that Gallagher was deeper. Like Gallagher wasn't playing in that advanced number 8. So I agree with you. I would agree with you there. Like he's not played a really, really good match for about a month and a half now.
I said it.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
He's
I can't remember his last really good game is what I'm saying, right? So there's definitely credence. There's definitely credence to give somebody else who's been out for a while and has come back in and shown something, an opportunity to get those minutes now, especially with the uncertainty of his contract and all that stuff too. We got to start looking elsewhere as well. So no, I agree. I wouldn't persist with Gallagher in games where we feel like we need to be in the ascendancy in the match. Like it's just not. He's not providing anything.
I don't think we need to persist with him anymore. We've proved yesterday if Gallagher doesn't work in the game yesterday, then we don't need him. What's the point of having him? We don't need him.
That's what the narrative has been, isn't it? Teams like Liverpool, you need a Gallagher. But yesterday you could clearly see that
there's no more influence from Gallagher.
Bro, we couldn't go gun for gun with these guys. This is Klopp we're talking about. We can't play like them. We cannot play like them, bro. We can't. We ain't got the players to play like them, bro. We don't have them.
So just in interest, like, what would you guys? How would we have played on the counter? You guys play same play on the counter?
No. I would have liked us to use the technical players that we've got to build out from the back and beat that press and do what we do when we get in the final third. That's what I would have liked to see.
Okay,
but
I didn't see that. So you're just saying not so much the personnel, but the setup wasn't right, right?
The setup wasn't right. Correct. Okay. And the personnel as well. Because one thing about Carney actually offers us a link between the midfield and the attack. You get it? When Gallagher plays in that midfield, in that 10, he doesn't offer that link. The only time that he does is when he comes off the bench. Why do you think the other day he fucking got 2 assists? Because he came off the bench. He didn't start the game. You know what I'm saying?
You need your 10 to be able to hold on to the ball and carry the ball. If Gallagher is going to be in these critical positions, he has to be able to do the basics. Carry the ball 5 yards. Make an incisive pass. Read the game properly. Make an assist. It doesn't work, bro.
I think if anything was obvious in this last game, it was the fact that when you're making quick decisions forced to make quick decisions under pressure, we don't have. I don't think we have a press resistant team. I just don't see that yet. And
really?
No, I don't think we do.
We've got Caicedo's press resistant, Enzo's press resistant, and Palmer's press resistant. There's a couple of them, bro. Even Carney in tight spaces as well. He's quite press resistant as well.
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say
Caicedo's definitely press resistant. Lavia's our most press resistant player. That's what I'm saying, Coach. I'm saying Lavia is our most press resistant player, but we definitely have press resistant players in his team for sure. I know that for sure.
Yeah, but from what we've seen right now, we're not a press resistant team, is what I'm saying.
Right, because we're not being set up in a way to be press resistant, bro. Every time, like yesterday, the amount of times I'm seeing.
I mean, we're saying the exact same thing, regardless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for me, like I said, now. Please, Poch, he took off Gallagher at halftime yesterday. And the other day he didn't start him. So I'm hoping now, finally, in fucking February, after how many months now, he's realized that he doesn't need his pop. every single game. It doesn't need him every single game. Do you know what I'm saying? So this needs to be a beginning of dumping my man, dumping my man right now and bringing him off the bench because he, like you lot have all said, we've all acknowledged it. He has not been good for weeks now. Weeks, bro. He hasn't been good. Do you know what I'm saying?
Enzo is
Yeah,
press resistant.
no doubt.
That's the dumbest figure. He is, mate.
Enzo's definitely press resistant, bro.
Enzo's probably the most press resistant on the team.
Yesterday, the setup is.
Jabby, I'm going to come off now, mate. Next time, on the next show, I'll bring you on, bro. Just drop me a message and I'll send you a link.
Telling this guy to just jump in the chat and like I don't know what his problem is.
Yeah,
like, I'm talking about get in the WhatsApp group, man. Every time I tell this guy, he's like, "Oh, okay, well, no, that might."
Jabby, get in our WhatsApp group and you'll get the link in there. Come and join us over there. Just drop me a message and I'll send you it. I'll sort it out here.
So are you guys still patched in? Like, I just need to know.
Good
Let's
question.
finish up. Yeah, come on. Let's go.
Good question.
Like, are you guys still patched in?
I'm
patched out. I'm making it clear.
Greasy Don, strike three.
Wait, for me, bro.
Strike three.
Listen, for me, bro. Listen, like I said the other week, I'm very, very close. But again, I can't ignore the fact that we've still got guys recovering back. Because if it was up to me yesterday, I would have loved to start Nkunku. I'd have loved to start Gusto. But I understand that these men just came back. That's why I wasn't really crying about the Palmer 9 thing as much as you might know I hate it. I'm understanding to the situation. But at the same time, and I was happy with the subs that he made. But at the same time, this in-game management, these poor instructions, they can't carry on. They can't carry on. But yesterday, I can't lie. Poch's hands were a little bit handicapped. They were a little bit handicapped, bro. I can't lie in that first half. He had to pick Palmer as a 9.
But you don't think the tactics? It's difference between teams and the players.
Don't get me started.
No. I'm talking about the fact that he played Palmer as a 9. In terms of playing Caicedo as a lone 6, that obviously I don't agree with 110%.
He didn't change it the whole game, though, bro.
Yeah, it did. But what I'm saying is.
Why can't he impact the game without making a sub? Why can't he just go? That's what I'm saying. Why can't he do that? Why can't he show that? That's what I don't get.
This is what I'm saying, Jem. When he brought on the personnel, the personnel like Nkunku and whatnot, yeah. When he brought these guys on, you could see straight away that we looked better. But like I said, I don't trust this guy with players. With second fiddle players, basically the players that he's not feeling like that because he doesn't really know what to do with them. And even the top players that we're saying build around, he has no clue what to do with them. He has no clue what to do with them as well. Do you get what I'm saying? But all I'm saying right now is that I can't ignore the amount of injuries that we've had. He's on strike 2 for me. I'm just hoping right now.
After this
injuries
game,
the injuries is same. It's sad that
it was the same injuries before.
Bro,
how did we get to strike 2 if we had injuries before?
No. We got to strike 2 because I'm sorry, losing to Middlesbrough like that, losing to Man United like that was a fucking joke. Yeah. Okay, yesterday it wasn't all on Poch because the players, even though we changed the setup in the second half, the players were bad as well yesterday. Some of the individual performances that I saw were abysmal. And on top of that, the fucking officiating as well. I'm not saying we lost because of the penalties. Yeah. The officiating was a fucking joke. So yesterday, as much as Poch was bad, individual performances, guys were bad, and like I said, the officials were shocking yesterday. Absolutely shocking. That's the reason why. So that's it, innit? That's why I'm just saying to you. Look,
I've just messaged you on Twitter.
I'm still strike 2, but I'm very, very close, man. I'm very, very close. Very, very close.
Yes, with the surfer says he's worse than Potter.
Bro, if the funny part is if Potter had the players that we've got now, we'll be doing a lot better. We'll actually be doing a lot better, bro.
He'll be making us play his sexy football.
At least his tactics are clear, you know.
I can tell you for sure, he won't be playing. He wouldn't be playing Enzo as a fucking 10 or a striker.
I should be clipping this, man. I really should be clipping this. You guys are saying Potter away. Wow.
No. Fuck Potter. He deserves to get sacked.
You guys are funny.
I'm just saying that if Potter had the players that Poch has to work with now, I think we'll be in a better position because let's not act like when Potter first came in the first half of the season, my man wasn't working with like C team players. My man fucking took Broja, Gallagher, and Mount to Newcastle, bro, as our front three. You know what I'm saying? And obviously in the end, it just became a little bit too much for him. But in terms of actually setting us up with these sort of players, I think he'll be better than Poch from what I saw of both of them. I can't lie.
with the Surfer, I've been saying this. I've been so critical of him on structure, style of play for a long time now. I'm not joking.
Bro,
So
Andrew, I agree.
Are we not seeing a style of play? Are we not seeing a style of play? Is that...
Nah. Yesterday, I wasn't seeing no style of play, bro.
Oh, no,
I wasn't seeing no style of play.
I'm talking about overall.
Andrew, just on the second bit.
This one time. Are we seeing a style of play?
Hell no. What style of play were we seeing yesterday?
Okay, no, I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm talking about overall.
I mean, when we set up correctly, yes.
So, are you seeing a style of play? Excluding yesterday, for the majority of the games, have you seen a style of play?
Yeah, the style of play is Enzo playing next to the striker, and us trying to get the balls out in the wings and give it into Palmer.
But are you seeing it? Are you seeing it though?
I don't like it.
Okay, you don't like it. That's the difference. You don't like it. That's a difference.
What you do right now
to say that it doesn't exist. To say that it doesn't exist is a completely different thing.
How would you describe our what is our style of play? Because that question to me is a fun question.
What is that style of play? Yeah.
What is our style of play since you see it?
We're pressing high, trying to win the ball back high.
Yeah.
Use our midfielders, our midfield three, as attacking eights, putting pressure on the box. Attacking the box with fours and fives, using the wide men to swing in crosses, looking for the
fours
cutback.
and fives. When do we attack the box with fours and fives?
Bro, I'm telling you, man, we have fours and fives attacking the box.
Yeah, often. Enzo on his own, trying to head to the goal.
Fours and fives.
Often, yes, hey. Fours and fives.
The amount of times I see the ball just whipped in and there's no one there. And there's no one there.
Too. That happens.
You know what I'm saying?
That happens a lot too.
About the fact that we don't attack the box enough. That's one of the things that
exactly. It's
just Enzo, who's the furthest player forward, trying to win headers against 6-foot defenders and score. You know, or it's mate.
So you guys don't see that then, right? I'm gonna have to start showing you guys every time it happens, right? Is that the case? Because you guys don't see that
every time that there's not anyone in the box.
Okay, because I can illustrate it for you every time it happens when we have fours and fives in the box. I can show.
Bro, seeing it one or two.
Talking about the low blocks when we were at the bridge and we're playing against someone.
No, I'm talking about when we're attacking teams, when we're actually when we're pressing them high and attacking teams. We have a lot of box presence, a ton of it. I'm talking about fours and fives a lot of the time. I can go back to even like the last 3 games and show you examples of that. The last 3 games.
I agree with this, bro. How many times has Bro been on his own in the box and he's just headed the ball? Like, you know, like it's or Enzo runs in behind him. Like I think.
Honestly, I don't know if you guys are watching then because I'm gonna be real. I must be watching a completely different Chelsea because I'm telling you right now.
I think a lot of our positions of our players is in and around the box, not inside.
Right. Inside the box.
That's not inside the box. They're all in and around the box. I'm talking about around it, not inside.
I must be watching something different then. I'll show you guys. We'll get back on the chat. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about.
But there's been many times where we've got the ball down the wing, we've gone to get across the ball in, and I look in the box and I'm like, just Enzo. Or, it's Brower. And then Enzo comes in.
I'm not talking about every attacking sequence where we're going to have 4 and 5 in the box every time. No team attacks like that. I'm talking about there's a consistent effort to get guys in the box when we're in possession of the football. It's not just one guy in the box. I can show you guys examples. Like I have no problem with taking the time and showing you guys.
I agree with that statement because you can see how he has Enzo moving off the ball and Gallagher moving off the ball. So that shows that he's looking to get those players in the box.
He's in the box. Yeah.
Does it work? Maybe one of them needs to stay deeper and the other one can go into the box. Like that's what it is. Like he's make the tactical nuances where the distances between the players or the choice of pass that you want them to make in certain situations, those are not occurring correctly. Main thing is Enzo and Caicedo. Those players should not be more than 10 yards away from each other. Always. Yeah. That's a pivot. That's what a real pivot is. Yeah. If one moves up, the other one moves closer with him. If one moves back, the other one moves with him. Move together. This guy has them all over the place, and Caicedo's chasing people like a fucking headless.
But it has worked at times, though, right? That's that same setup, right? What we're talking about, like sort of like a 4-1-4-1 or whatever, 3. It's worked, right? It's just this was not the game for it. Like, let's just leave that alone. I know we're already hyping that. This was not the game for it, but that particular tactic where we have Caicedo as solo 6 has worked for us.
It has,
And
but against lower opposition.
Low blocks though only. Yeah, exactly. But that's because we were allowed. That's because we're allowed to. Because they don't press
it worked against Aston Villa. We didn't score, but it worked
against teams that are pressing against you. You need to drop back. You need to link play.
You need 20 minutes into the game.
You need to see that thing. But anyway, I do need to dip because I've got work to do as well. Wolves on Sunday, right? Is it at home? Yeah.
Sunday. Hell,
we can't get out of 10th place, man. It's just crazy.
Yeah, we'll do a match reaction to that on Monday. Am I around? Yeah, I should be around Monday. I've got a show on Monday night, so that's all right.
I know how Monday, you move, Jan. You're just looking for the right fixture to jump back. We should be doing this consistently.
No, I'll be back at some point.
At some point, you see, they're trying to sneak that into it.
It's stressful to them, man. It's too stressful for him.
No, I need to be consistent, but at the same time, I am getting very bored of repeating myself. I'm not going to lie. That's the other thing. Like when we're analysing games where we're losing and we're sitting here saying the same things, it becomes a little bit repetitive, and I'm just like, I know you guys wanted me to be on here, and I appreciate all 180 people of you that are here now. Big up to you guys, but it can be repetitive and it's stressful. It hurts my heart watching us play like this. It does. It stresses me out so much trying to talk about us. It's just, I don't get it. And then you have to listen to rivals, and it's just like, I can't be asked. Can't be asked for it right now. I just want us to kick on, man. I want us to use the squad because I actually think we have a good squad. I really do. I think we have a young, good squad that just need they need to be played in the right positions, and he needs to stick to a system. Like yesterday, he changed the system by just playing Palmer in the 9, which he didn't need to do. He didn't do that the last couple of games. Like,
we did.
Don't just stick to it. That's what I'm saying. Like he played actually the Middlesbrough game away. He played Palmer up front, didn't he? Yeah.
And he also did it against Aston Villa.
And was it Aston Villa?
We didn't win not one of those games. Not one. Yeah. We didn't win any of those games.
True. Yeah, so
I don't think it's because of the setup why we didn't win those games, though.
It don't even matter, bro. It just doesn't work. Bro. We gotta accept that it doesn't work.
So if we end up playing with 9 defenders and an own goal goes in and we win, and that's the setup, then that's
a real couch analogy, guys.
Well, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not about
these analogies. It's usually on point. These days, it's become like
like your own goal goes in. Like it's not always about the result.
You've been around the club.
I hear you, but it's not one result, bro. It's like 4 results. So it's like
with our false 9.
Yeah, we haven't won a game with false 9 this whole year. Do you know that?
Twice we played false 9.
No.
When else
played false 9 also against
Arsenal.
City?
We drew.
Or Arsenal, one of them. We haven't won a false 9 in 5. We've played it like 5 times.
We did do that against Arsenal, wasn't Jackson? Oh, Jackson was away that game. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. We haven't. It doesn't work for us, bro. We don't have the players because the wingers have to score. We don't have goal scoring wingers. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Yeah, let's get back on the chat. But yeah, good chats today, guys. I was really
good chat. I had a good one, guys. Big up to you all. I do think Couch is hanging around Declared a bit much, though. Some of his analogies.
Big up Declared.
Guys, go and follow Critic as well. He does. He will be doing something a bit later on where he uploads a clip of the game, an analogy of the game. So go and give him a follow. It's Couch Critic. His name on YouTube as well. Please. Go and do that. Follow AJ on TikTok as well, man. Go and give him some follows and listen to him over there. He does match previews and match reaction as well. Does it all, guys, on TikTok. Hey. So listen, add them all up. Go and watch him. All right, guys, big up. I'll see you very, very soon. Two shows back to back. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I'll see you. I'll see you in a bit, guys. Peace out, guys. Peace out.